Hello everyone, this is Winnie Dow, and today I want to share with you how was it that I converted from Roman Catholicism to Eastern Orthodoxy. I'm gonna start with my childhood. I grew up in a Roman Catholic family. My mom, at some point, was a catechist, and although she didn't visit church that often, we were told to go to church every Sunday. There we would take Sunday school. We were very active in church and in all the activities that happened throughout the year. I would participate in the procession. I would read some of the stations. Um, at some point, I became a catechist also, and so much that then I decided to go to a Catholic university. During all these years, I had questions. One of my questions, for example, which is a pretty normal one for a little child, is to ask, how did Adam and Eve's children found who to marry with? Things like that. The priest would never answer. He was from Spain, so it is their custom to just slap children as a greeting, and also when they kind of make you mad, I guess. So he would always answer to me by slapping me. Because of this, I eventually stopped making questions. And when I went to a Catholic university, I have a deacon as a professor, and he was pretty good at answering my questions. He would, however, point me to the library. He would say, for example, I wish I could answer that to you, but I have to follow a Roman Catholic curriculum, so you may have to go to the library and find that by yourself. And he would tell me what books to read, or what to find, or what to look for. At some point, I contemplated becoming a nun. At some point, I wanted to become a nun. And then I met my husband, who also contemplated becoming a monk. We obviously decided that that was not the life we wanted to follow. But as a couple, we always discussed our faith. He was active duty in the army, so we were not able to settle in any place. Because of this, we stopped practicing our faith. We did, however, believe in God. I would pray the rosary at home. When we got married, we did so by the law, but not in the church. 8 years after that, we decided to have our marriage blessed in the church. So we went to the church, and as I was talking to the secretary, she called me a concubine. She said that I could not get married to my husband because I was living with my husband as a concubine. She actually yelled at me these words at the office, and I think that was the point where I stopped trying. I felt rejected because I really knew that I had to have my marriage blessed. We knew that we wanted to do that, and we were seeking to do so, but she rejected us. That was pretty bad. We felt pretty bad, and time passed, and then my husband spoke straight with a priest, and we had our marriage blessed in the Catholic Church, in the big church actually. The lady at the office had said that if we ever got our marriage blessed, we had to do so in an office, in private, in secret, because that was a disgrace, and it should not be celebrated and all of that. But this priest showed us some love, and he said, yes, come and we will marry you in the town church, which is, it wasn't my dream. It wasn't, to me, marriage was not about wearing a dress, a big church or whatever. The only thing I wanted was for God to bless our marriage. So all the other things were just an addition that I wasn't even considering. At that point, I didn't even think that that could ever happen. So we felt better that our marriage was blessed, but I still felt that the God of the Roman Catholic Church, which was an angry God, was not seeking revenge, but wanted our suffering in exchange for the suffering of his son. That's how I felt. And I was not ignorant of my faith because I grew up in it. I went to a university that required me to take theology courses, the history of the church, all of that. So I understood my faith. It's not like some Roman Catholic people have told me, oh, you changed your religion because you didn't know the dogma, you didn't understand the Catholic faith, the Roman Catholic faith. And that's not true. I understood it. I always thought about the apparitions of the Virgin Mary as something kind of wrong. She would come, she would ask people to do sacrifice as if his son's sacrifice was not enough. She would always say that God was mad, but she was keeping him from hurting us. And all those apparitions were like, no, this cannot be what God is about. So I don't remember exactly when, but at some point near the end of my husband's active duty career, I started investigating and doing some research about the historical church. I would read and read and read for days, for weeks, because I wanted to go back to that. I wanted to go back to what the apostles did. I wanted to go back to what those who walked with him did and how they worshiped God, because they're the ones who know better. So at this point, I started reading about the Orthodox Church, and in one of my private prayers, I remember I said to God, God, if this is the real church, if this is where I'm supposed to be, if this is the correct way of worshiping you, please help us, put us in a way that we can reach that, because we were always back and forth, moving here, moving there. It was not possible for us to settle in any place. Sometimes we would move to a place and there weren't any churches around us, or even big communities. And the times that we had good established communities, because of our ethnicity, we were not welcomed. So we didn't feel secure enough to just join the community, when part of the community were skinheads and panthers and all of those stupid groups. So I prayed to God, and we were living in a very diverse place at that moment. And I contacted a lady from a Greek church. I told her all I told her everything I felt. I told her that I wanted to visit the church, and she was very nice. She told me to come visit, to ask for her, and that she would help us and guide us through the liturgy and all of that. I had already read about the liturgy, the Vespers, so I knew what to expect. Um, I come from a Roman Catholic traditional way of worship, so this Novus Ordo thing was not even a thing where I come from. So I liked the way that I liked everything I was reading about Orthodoxy. I felt like everything was the way it was supposed to be. But for some reason, we were not able to go to church in that place. We had to move back to Florida. Then after we moved to Florida, other things happened, and I had to stop even trying. Um, so I was concentrated on other things, and then we were able to move again to where we live now. And in this place, I was able to look for a church. We knew that we were going to settle here because my husband was no longer in active duty. He was now a federal employee. So that gave us the security that we were going to be here for a long time. I began researching churches, and there was a Greek church nearby. We went there, and they were very nice in the beginning. A gentleman received us. He even bought some candles for us and taught us how to venerate the icons and how to light up the candles and all of that. Then he and his wife guided us through the liturgy. But then after the liturgy, he said, "What are you doing here? You're not Greek." And of course I knew Orthodoxy was not about ethnicities, but I didn't know how to answer to that. So I just said, we're just trying to become Orthodox. And he said, "Well, maybe this is not the place for you. Maybe you should look for another parish." And he told us the name of this other parish. He said, "I believe they worship in English," because in the parish we were in at that moment, part of the liturgy was in English and part of the liturgy was in Greek. So of course I can read Greek phonetically, and some of the words are very similar to Spanish, which is my mother tongue. So I didn't feel that lost, especially because I have done a lot of research. I knew what was going on in the liturgy, even if I didn't understand word by word. But my husband told me, "You know what, I don't think we are very welcome there. Let's see this other parish." And I contacted the priest in that other parish, and this priest, Father Nectarios, he was amazing. He met with us. He asked us why we were interested in Orthodoxy. He asked us many theological questions, and we began going to the church for like a month. And after that month was over, he said, "Do you feel ready to be received in the Orthodox Church?" And I said, "I feel ready since day one, but I don't think I don't think I can do it because I'm not a catechumen yet." And he said, "Oh, you are a catechumen since years and years ago, but you didn't know." And so he received us by chrismation, and this happened in the Carpatho Russian tradition. We were received on December 8th, 3 years ago, and it was amazing. I felt like a weight had been lifted from my shoulders. I felt like I was finally home. I Orthodoxy is the way we live our life. Of course, we're not good at doing the the fasts. Sometimes I am lazy when I'm supposed to pray every day and all of that. But this time, I follow God out of pure love. In the Roman Catholic Church, I used to follow God out of fear. I didn't want to be punished by Him, so I followed Him. Now I feel that I understand Him better. Now I know that He loves me and that He does not want any bad for me or for the ones I loved. And it's totally different. It's an amazing feeling. I feel complete. I feel like I want a relationship with God. I'm not forced. I'm not forced by any fears or because this is what my culture does or this is what a good woman is supposed to do. I don't feel that the Pope has to tell me what to do and how to do it. Now I feel that everything has been delivered to us and interpreted by us by people who really walked with God, be it in the times that He was on earth or be it as saints. I feel His grace. I feel His mercy. I feel the Holy Spirit working in my life every single day. That's something that I didn't feel in the Roman Catholic Church. I'm not saying the Roman Catholic Church doesn't have any truth. I believe the Roman Catholic Church has truths, but not the whole truth. The whole truth, I believe, is found in Eastern Orthodoxy. Right now, we attend a ROCOR parish. We no longer go to the Carpatho Russian parish. I love the ROCOR tradition because it's very strict, and I really like that. The Greeks and some Carpatho Russian are more laid back. So if you are seeking for a parish like that, those two, in my experience, are very good parishes. It's like a transition. They're very good to be received in the Orthodoxy because you won't get overwhelmed with all the rules and all the things that you would probably find in a ROCOR parish. And I'm talking about, for example, wearing skirts, head coverings, though many ROCOR parishes don't force you to use head coverings, of course, but they're more strict in that way. I believe that we are home now in the Eastern Orthodox Church and in the ROCOR tradition. The Russians are very similar to the Latinos, to the Latins. So probably because of that, I think I fit in very well in that tradition. Now, sometimes I feel like I turned my back on part of my culture because Roman Catholicism is very ingrained in the Latin culture. So sometimes I feel like I left something behind. Sometimes I feel like a part of me left me, and that makes me feel sad. My family is very supportive. My family doesn't really bother me or judge me for having changed my religion. They actually ask me questions and they're very supportive. I have sent them icons and they respect them very much. They ask me how to worship them and they do. I'm sorry, how to venerate them and they do. So it's I believe they're very respectful in that sense. They don't understand everything about the religion. My father, for example, as soon as I became Eastern Orthodox, he went to a ROCOR parish, and he interviewed, because we live far away, so that's what he could do to learn more about my religion. He had an interview with the priest, and then after that he called me and said, you know what, I don't think this religion is for me, at least not right now, but I like that you found it. I liked what I heard, and he's very respectful about that. And my mother too, my sister too, even my nephew is gonna be baptized as an Eastern Orthodox, even though my sister and my brother-in-law are Roman Catholics. So I think they're on their way to becoming Orthodox. So this was my conversion to Eastern Orthodoxy. I'm still learning a lot of things about my faith. There is someone who told me, you will never stop being a catechumen. You will always, until the day you die, be a catechumen. And I think that's exactly how it is. That's exactly how I feel. I feel that I don't stop learning. Every day I read, every day I learn something new, and every time it amazes me. Every time. It's such a good feeling to know that what you're doing is something that hasn't been done for so long. That this is the right way of worshiping God. It's amazing, and I feel very grateful because God led me to His church. I feel, sometimes I wonder why us. Sometimes I feel like I'm not worthy of His grace in that sense, because for a Latino to find the Eastern Orthodox church, that's pretty rare. For anyone is rare here in America, but especially for a Latino. So I feel very blessed. I feel loved, and that's exactly what I had always been looking for. I had always been looking for God's love. I cannot believe that He's so filled with love towards us, and I cannot believe how much fear I had. Of course, I have fear of God, but the type of fear I had when I was growing up, I don't have that anymore, and thank God for that. So thank you for watching this video. If you liked it, please like and subscribe down below, and if you have questions, please leave them down below, and if I don't know the answer, I will certainly look it up for you. So please don't hesitate. Thank you for watching. Bye bye. Have a blessed day.